Hi Betty, it's Robert Ty here at O'Regan's Nissan. Thanks for coming into the dealership today. I know we're looking at the Qashqai and the Rogue. I wanted to give you a brief walk around on each vehicle so that you could see the differences and see what's what. So I'm going to start with the SL Qashqai. The one I have picked out was the first one I grabbed my hands on, and ironically it's black. So we're going to have a look at this vehicle and we're going to see what's what. And then we're going to go down and compare the SV Tech Edition on the Rogue. I hope you like, and if you have any questions at the end of it, please let me know. So here we have the SL Qashqai. This is the Platinum Edition. So this is in black. We've got 19-inch alloy rims. It's got roof rails on it where the other trim levels do not. On the exterior, those are about the only differences that we're going to see between this and the lower trim levels. And the Platinum has LED headlights. So let's have a look inside this vehicle. It is equipped with factory remote start, which is why it's running right now. So Betty, here we are inside the Qashqai. As you can see, we do have a navigation system right away. We've got dual climate control, so if you've got anybody in the vehicle with you, they can set their own temperature. All you gotta do is push the dial and then just change the temperature as desired. Once they're out, push the dial again and everything resets back to your side. Heated seats down below here, and we do have leather seats in the SL Qashqai. Our audio system is a really nice Bose premium sound system in the SL Platinum. So once we get into here, we can see I've got AM, FM, satellite radio, which would be free for the first 3 months, Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary, and we still have CD players in our vehicles. So both this and the Rogue are going to have a CD player as well. Very easy to operate. I do want to show you the backup camera right quick. We have backup sensors, as you can hear, but also with the backup camera, which is here, and you have predictive lines. We've also got a 360-degree bird's eye view around the vehicle. So for that view, the back uses the backup camera. There's a grille in the front for the front, and there's cameras under your side mirrors for each of those. So that's the view that we have there when we're in reverse. As we move across, this is going to turn on my cruise control, and then I can set the distance for the adaptive cruise control using this button here. By default, it's going to be set for 3 car lengths, plus some safe distance. My own personal preference is to drop it down to 1 car length plus safe distance, which on the highway is the equivalent of 2.5 car lengths. I have my hands free from my Bluetooth here, and this button is my voice recognition. So with this button, I can change my audio from AM to FM to satellite to CD, whatever. I can also set my navigation destination through this button, and we'll go over that in more detail when you come in to see it. To set my cruise, I simply hit set, resume, cancel, whatever the case is. But this vehicle is equipped with a feature called Pro Pilot Assist. It's semi-autonomous driving. It will help steer the vehicle for you when it's turned on to help keep you centered between the lanes. We also have pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, and lane departure intervention, on top of the automatic emergency braking, blind spot indicators, and rear cross traffic detection that we've talked about. And this vehicle is equipped with rear emergency braking as well. So if I'm approaching something behind me too quick, it's going to hit the brakes before I have a chance to hit it. On the left side here, I've got my volume for my radio. These 2 buttons will go through my presets if I'm on the radio, or it'll skip tracks if I'm streaming through CD, USB, or Bluetooth. My arrows here are going to control my driver assist display. Now I'm going to put us right back to the first screen. So right here, I've got an average speed. Now it's not a digital speedometer, it's just an average. I have my average fuel economy. Now this vehicle has done a lot of idling without going anywhere, which is why it's so high. So I'm going to reset this. And there we go. This is pertaining to my navigation. That will change when you have a destination set so that it goes up and to the right or up and to the left. And it'll count down the distance to your next turn, as well as speaking to you through the speaker system. This will show me what's going on with my radio, and from this screen I can press the OK to change the source of my audio. You see there I go through the different functionalities. As I mentioned, this is for my cruise control, just for the adaptive for the distance. This screen here is for my Pro Pilot Assist. The lines on either side of the vehicle will light up green when Pro Pilot engages. If I hit a line on the side of the road, either one of those lines are going to flash orange for my lane departure warning. If Pro Pilot is not on, lane departure assist will help out there, and it's just going to tap. So if I'm drifting to the right, it's going to tap my left front brake to help pull me back into the lane. Tire pressure shows up on this screen. It will give you each wheel individually once you start driving. From there, if you get a low tire, it's going to pop up and tell you low tire warning. Once you go to put some air in the tire, just start putting air in the tire that needs it. When it gets to the right pressure, the Qashqai's horn is going to beep to tell you to stop. This screen allows you to review any warnings, and the final screen over is our settings. And again, we'll go through this in a lot more detail once you're back in. Down below here, we've got some buttons. This will turn off the traction control, which I do not recommend. You're in an all-wheel drive vehicle. Also, in turning off the traction control, you're going to disable pedestrian detection, automatic emergency braking, and rear emergency braking. This button will allow you to disable the ProPilot Assist. So if we look at the top of the screen here, when I press this button, that goes away, and it tells me steering assist is off. I'm going to turn it back on, and we see what happens there. Down below, this button here is for my leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, which comes on automatically with your remote start if it's below 3 degrees outside and your engine is cold. You can lock in the all-wheel drive on this. The way the all-wheel drive is going to work is you're going to drive in front-wheel drive about 95% of the time. Pulling away from a dead stop, you're going to be in all-wheel drive. If you need extra power to get up a hill or any traction conditions, as we tend to hit in the winter, all-wheel drive is automatically going to kick in. There is a screen that we can enable on the driver assist display to show that. If you lock in your all-wheel drive, it will stay locked in up to 40 kilometers an hour. Once you go above 40, you drop down to front-wheel drive. However, it will engage all-wheel drive as necessary up to 145 kilometers per hour. Final button down here is for eco mode. We did discuss this in the dealership, so you are familiar with that, especially from your terrain. We have an auto-dimming rear view mirror in here, and we have a sunroof. Our key fob looks like this. So I've got a panic button, unlock, lock, and my remote start. Next up, we're going to have a look at the SV Tech Edition on the Rogue, and we're going to see what some of the differences and some of the similarities are. You're going to notice this as well. We have an electronic parking brake with auto hold. We'll cover that a little more on the other vehicle. So Betty, parked right beside the Qashqai is our SV Tech Edition Rogue. We see here this has 18-inch alloy rims. It's a beautiful gun metallic gray. Has a panoramic moonroof. It's got the roof rails. A lot of similar features. We're going to have a look inside now. So Betty, we're going to notice a lot of similarities on this vehicle to the Qashqai that we just looked at, and a couple differences. Two of the immediate differences that I notice are cloth seats, and my mirror is not an auto-dimming rear view mirror. Now my sunroof is a panoramic moonroof, so it is a much larger roof. The navigation system is identical, as is our audio system here. We still have the CD player up top, same dual climate control, same options there. The electronic parking brake is the same, as are the heated seats. Moving over to our steering wheel, everything's identical right here, so you still get your cruise control, the distance for the adaptive cruise control, your cruise itself, and your Bluetooth hands-free with the voice recognition. On the left side of our steering wheel, we've got the same buttons for our volume, the buttons to skip through our presets or skip tracks depending on how we're listening to audio. Still got our OK button with the arrows around it for our driver assist display. Now this is a screen that can be enabled on the Qashqai. It's our trip odometer, fuel economy, navigation. There's our radio again. That's the steering assist. This is for our ProPilot. There's our one for our tire pressure. So this is the one I was referring to earlier, which shows us the difference with the all-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive. When we're on this screen, it's going to show me if I'm in front-wheel drive, as it's showing now, or if it's an all-wheel drive, it's going to give you a 50-50 split. So that top line will drop down to 50 and the bottom line will fill up. You can always gauge when you're in front-wheel versus all-wheel on this screen. Back to the warnings, and again the settings. Down below here, we've got a couple extra buttons. So, traction control and ProPilot. We have our power liftgate. If I press and hold that for 2 seconds, the liftgate will open. Fuel release is right here, where on the other one it's on a pull lever down below. Heated steering wheel, the lock for the all-wheel drive. As I mentioned, inside this one has a sport mode, and we have the eco mode again. Very similar features with our blind spot, pedestrian detection, automatic emergency braking, rear cross traffic detection. In reverse, again, we have our sensors. Now I'm very close, so I'm going to move forward a little bit. So there's my backup camera with the predictive lines, my 360-degree view utilizing the same cameras and the sensors. So I'm going to hop out and I'm going to show you how the power liftgate works with the kick motion activation. So Betty, my key fob is almost identical, except it's got one extra button. This button here is for my power liftgate. I can press and hold this to open it, or as long as I have the key fob on me, because it needs to be within 3 feet of the hatch. When I give a kick in and out, I hear 3 beeps telling me to move out of the way, and my hatch opens right up for me. Now I can press this button to close it. I can give a kick again, or there's 3 more beeps and the hatch closes. So that's another difference between the Qashqai and the Rogue. So Betty, I hope this answers a lot of your questions about the Rogue and the Qashqai. If you do still have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. When the time is right, I'd love to get you in so that we can go over these in person and take each one out for a test drive so you can see. I know you're moving from a 6-cylinder down to the 4-cylinder, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Come on in when you're ready and let's have a look at these 2 amazing vehicles.